Hey friends, it's Tracy. Today I am sharing a video of how I created this Christmas tree decor. I did some hand painting, some hand lettering, sharing all of my rustic country goodness with you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So I just have an ivory color of 8.5 by 11 sheet, and the marker I'm using is just a black Sharpie marker. It is the chisel point. I'm very comfortable in using that. It just comes with years of practice, guys. And what I did is I hand lettered "Oh Christmas Tree." I put my happy dots on the ends of each letter and kind of make them the way that I like them. Then what I'll do is I'll take some white paint and some just a thin liner brush, and I'll go in each one of the happy dots and just add a little swoosh or a little bit of highlight just to make those letters pop. Now I do have some free fonts that I have found. I will have a link for those in the description of this video if you would like to check that out, so that you can practice on some paper or something else if you would like to enhance your hand lettering skills. The scrapbook paper that I got out of this pack, I got this at Hobby Lobby during their 75% off sale. This paper pad is called Old World Winter, and I love every single one of these papers in here. They're actually cardstock, which is a little bit thicker than paper. So what I really like the edges of it. So what I'm going to do is cut it in half just with my paper trimmer. And then since this is an rectangle shape, I'm going to need to use that second piece, cut off a piece of that. And so that I could, capture the edges the way that I want, I just trimmed it in half or just cut it in half, then cut this one down so that I would have where it all looked like it was cohesive and everything matched up. This board is also one that I picked up from Hobby Lobby, 75% off sale, and it measures 15.75 by 11.81. That is exactly what was on the tag on the back. So I'm just kind of showing you here how I just cut those apart, or actually just cut them in the middle. Now to adhere it all down, I'm just taking my Elmer's glue stick. I think that sometimes we forget how well Elmer's glue actually works. So I am just gluing all, I just put that down on that board, and then just, position my paper all up the way that I want it to, and just making sure that that is down there in the middle. And so here I have just a piece of parchment cardstock paper. This is something that I've had on hand. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to be painting a tree. And so I have three different colors of greens that I'm going to be using. The first one is darker. It's the evergreen, and these are all Americana brands. And so I'm just using evergreen, holly green, and desert cactus. Those are the colors that I'm going to use. So I'm using my fan brush, and so I'm just kind of showing you here. I just kind of start in the middle, and then I'm just going to do some wispies all the way down. Then I'll go back on the other side. I'll continue to add some wispies, making my tree larger as I want it to be. So I'll just continue with the evergreen. Then I will go in with holly green, and then the top one is desert cactus. Now those are the greens that I used for my kind of my Christmas tree right here. I was just kind of sharing with the people on the live video. I was just sharing kind of what an old-fashioned Christmas, that was the event that I was participating in, what it actually means to me. And so I know that a lot of my friends on YouTube that do not like the live videos or the chatter or that kind of thing. And so I don't know, I kind of have mixed, feelings about that. you know, some people love it. Some people ask me all the time, why do I not do more live videos? And it's just for time purposes. Um, I'm really trying to grow my channel here on YouTube, and people here really like to just watch the video and not have a lot of the talking and that kind of thing. And so I do appreciate you being here. Again, I'm just going on. If I get a little too heavy in some spots, then I go back with some of those paints and just kind of blend that out a little bit. I'll go in with some ivory or some antique white and just add some of the highlights that I like for my little, doodles and that kind of thing. I got this heat tool recently at Hobby Lobby in the scrapbooking section. I had some questions about that, so I just wanted to share that. It was only like $14.99, which I thought was very reasonable. And sometimes I don't want to pull out my big heat gun, and so that smaller one just works really good, especially on paper like this. I like the tattered edges that I get when I rip my paper. So what I do is I start just at the top and I pull the paper toward my body so that I get the torn edges. And so I'll just continue to do that all the way around the tree until I get to the top part. Now there was a little section there at the top that I had gotten a little too far over with my fan brush. And so what I was saying is that that's what I do to encourage everyone. It's only paint, and we can kind of correct our mistakes as we go along, either by repainting it, or in this case you would need to get another piece of cardstock just because this is paper. Okay, so then I am going to add some distressing, and my favorite distressing ink is Vintage Photo, and I use my little finger dauber just to add a little bit of the color as I go along. And so I'll do that all the way around the tree. I'm also going to do it also with the banner or the Christmas tree that I had hand lettered. And again, if you want to practice is the best thing. I will have a link in the description box to the free fonts that I have found that have dots on them. If you want to practice, download those from defont.com onto your computer. You can draw it out on, or like print them out on just copy paper, and then you can trace them onto different cardstock or just different thing, and practice is what I encourage everyone to do. All right, I have this music sheet scrapbook paper that I also got from Hobby Lobby, and I've just had a couple of pieces of it from different projects in the past and that kind of thing. So what I'm doing is kind of measuring it so that because one is not wide enough or long enough, so I need to tape a couple of the pieces together so that I would have enough so that I can rip it around the edges to kind of give it like a shadow around my Christmas tree banner and my tree. And what I did once I kind of got my placement, before I glued anything down, what I took is my friction pen. I got these off of Amazon, and they're like invisible ink, but I wanted something that, it wouldn't be permanent. So what I did, I just kind of pushed my stuff on there and just kind of drew around so that once I ripped my paper that I would know, give me kind of a line to follow or guesstimate. But I do need to go and, add or tear some pieces, and that's totally fine. I continue to do that as I am doing this project, figuring out how I need to what pieces or what areas I want so that I get the shadow that I want around my banner and my tree. So I left this part in here, guys, because two things happen. First of all, when I put that shorter piece up at the top, my music notes were upside down. I didn't catch it until I was, tearing the shadow piece around. And then also, my piece was a little short. And so what I did is I just took that piece off of there and then added a larger piece, put my notes the right way so that they were, since I had to switch it out. And so then I'll just continue to rip it until I get the shadow that I want. And so then what I did also is add some vintage photo just to give it some distressing around. I like the aged old look for my projects like this. And so my favorite color is vintage photo. That is my favorite. And I get mine off of Amazon, or you can also get it from Michael's and Hobby Lobby. So for my tree, what I'll do is just make sure everything is going to position on there. And then I'm going to grab that garland. Now, as I mentioned, the garland that I got, this is something that I've had on hand. I got it from Joann's craft store, several years ago. It's a little garland. It has pip berries. It has this teeny tiny jingle bells on it. So I'm kind of wrapping it around my paper tree here, just kind of securing it with some tape. And then I'm going to use some of that Silly Winks, which is that thicker fun foam. Just cut pieces of that down. Like I said, it comes in a variety of colors over there at Hobby Lobby. Then I'll just glue those there in different parts, and it kind of gives, kind of holds down that garland as well as pops up that tree just to give me a little dimension. And then once I get the placement for that, then I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with the banner. Just add some of that Silly Winks or fun foam. I just still call it fun foam. For years, I knew it as fun foam. And so whatever reason they changed the name to Silly Winks, I really don't know why. But anyway, that is what they did. And so you can see, I just kind of keep messing with my paper until I get the look that I want. And then for the bottom of my tree, I will add the trunk that is those 3 jingle blocks that I wrapped with a burlap. I'm going to put that at the bottom of my tree, but I make sure that everything is has spaced out before I glue all of that down. So underneath that banner, I'm using my favorite fine Excelsior that I get from Hobby Lobby. I like the very fine Excelsior. It's kind of like Spanish moss is really what it's like. And it adds just a bit of whimsy, and it really makes my country projects pop, and I like the look of it. Okay, what I'm doing here is adding some glitter. I like glitter on my projects. Everyone is different. So what I have is this makeshift kind of holder for when I spray my adhesive and then put my glitter on. It's just an old cereal box that I just kind of cut apart and glue, or not actually glue, spray, and then do my little glitter. And so then once that's dry, then what I'll do is glue down my music paper and then the banner. I kind of work in sections so that I don't lose my place, and just hot glue that to the back of the polka dot paper. Then I will add the trunk of my tree, which is that little 3 Jenga blocks glued with burlap down there at the bottom so that I don't miss anything. And then undoubtedly I forgot to film the star. I did, use some glue to adhere my star to the, okay, that's what I'm using. I was like, don't remember doing my star, but that's what I used. Some Aleene's tacky glue. I love Aleene's tacky glue. It's like one of my favorite. So I just glue that down, give it a little bit thicker glue, better hold. And so that's what I did with my star as well. So here we go. That's when I glued down my star there at the top, just so that, everything would line up correctly. Okay, so then on that little pitberry garland, what I did is I just took strips of the homespun. Again, I find my homespun at Hobby Lobby, Walmart, or jubileefabric.com. I just ripped thin strips of it, and then I am just tying it around the that little pitberry garland just in a knot. And then I'm using my pinking shear scissors. Those are the ones that are like zigzag on the ends. And